How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be going over a Strand build that is easy to use, extremely solo friendly, and you can mix and match the mods to suit the weapons that you like to use. Now this is going to be my first ever build video, so bear with me guys, and as always, if there's something that you feel like I could do different, I love constructive feedback, put it down in the comments below. So we're actually going to name this build the Invisible Strand Assassin. So first off, the subclass and what's involved in it. So we're using Silk Strike, and the abilities are going to be Gambler's Dodge, because when we dodge near enemies, we fully recharge our melee ability. And then we've got Threaded Spike, so this is going to damage and sever them. So with Sever, that's just going to reduce the outgoing damage by quite a bit, which is going to help you survive. And then we've got Grapple, so we're mainly going to be using Grapple to actually grapple directly to the enemies, and as we get close to them, press our melee button, and that deals area damage and unravels the targets. And then we're going to move on to aspects. First up is Widow Silk. This gives us an additional grenade charge, which is going to come in handy for when we're grappling towards enemies. And then next we've got Ensnare and Slam, and this is activate your air move to consume your class ability energy and dive to the ground, and this will suspend all nearby targets on impact. And then moving on to fragments. First up is Thread of Continuity. Suspend, unravel and sever effects applied to targets have increased duration. And if you're running solo, increased anything is really good to have. Then Thread of Binding, super final blows emit a suspending burst from the target. Then Thread of Finality, finisher final blows create threadlings. And then Thread of Mind, defeating suspended targets grants class ability energy. Then moving on to mods and gear. So first off we have Assassin's Cowl, powered melee kills and finishers grant invisibility and healing. So heavy ammo finder, because I think this is bugged at the minute, it's just dropping purple bricks all over the place. Then we've got Void Siphon, rapid void weapon final blows create an orb of power. Then we've got Harmonic Siphon, rapid strand weapon final blows create orbs of power. Then we've got Impact Induction, causing damage with melee attack reduces your grenade cooldown. Then Heavy Handed, your powered melee final blows create orbs of power. And then Void Loader, I just threw that in there because I had one spare spot, which is increased reload speed of your void weapons. Then on my chest, I've got Charged Up, increase the maximum number of stacks of armor charge you can carry by 1. And then we've got Font of Endurance, so we're going to get a bonus to resilience. And then we've got Weapon Surge, your strand weapons gain a small bonus to damage while you have an armor charge. It's because we're running a strand weapon. And then we have Stacks on Stacks, picking up an orb of power grants you 1 additional stack. And then we've got Font of Restoration, you gain bonus to recovery while you have an armor charge. Then we've got Time Dilation, your decaying armor charge has a longer duration. Really good mod this one, guys. And then we've got Healthy Finisher, where when finishing an enemy you will be fully healed. Weapons, Quicksilver Storm, Funnel Web, because Void and Volatile are just cracked at the minute. And I've got the Circular Logic, nothing major. Anyone who's got Lightfall should have at least 2 of those weapons, and that is the Heavy Machine Gun and Quicksilver Storm. And if you don't have the catalyst for this, you can pick this up over at the terminals on Neonuma where Nimbus is, and it turns Quicksilver into a stasis weapon, and final blows with the grenades from this weapon create tangles, adding even more to the build. But this weapon isn't a must for this build to work. And as you can see by the gameplay, we're going to grapple the enemy, then we're going to melee them, and that's going to let out an area of effect damage, and we're going to go invisible straight away as well. And whilst doing all this, you're actually severing the enemies, which significantly reduces their damage output, so this is just another added bonus. Then we're going to create some space, throw our melee, that's going to hit numerous enemies. Once that comes back to you, if you catch it in time, that's going to give you some extra charge back. And then if you do find yourself in a bit of a pickle, this is where the Ensnaring Slam comes into play. So you activate your air move, but it does consume your class ability energy, and you dive to the ground, suspending all the targets, but whilst they're suspended you defeat them, and that grants you your class ability energy back. So once you've played around with the build a little bit, got used to the certain actions that you need to do, this build just works really well if you are a solo player. And if you wanted to swap anything around in terms of weapons today, guys, that's absolutely fine. Go over to the mod customization screen and you can jiggle around with what you want to put on. Bear in mind though, guys, this isn't no DPS king build, so you're not going to be one phasing bosses in grandmasters and raids and dungeons. But what it will do is help you survive and give you that chance to solo the content. Yes, it's going to take you a little bit longer, but it's definitely going to help you. And for the average solo Destiny 2 player, I think this build will really be beneficial to you. So let me know down in the comments below what you made of this build. And as always, if you've enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up button. It helps the channel out massively. And if I've tickled your fancy, maybe subscribe. Take care, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.